always seems impossible until it's done. So we have the big poster. So any African walking in here, or any person walking into here, any young person walking into here, when you read this, it gives you courage, it gives you confidence that there's somebody who's made it, and that's what he has done. Hi, my name is Mustafa Njai, and this is the Real Estate Lifestyle by TAF. I'll be sharing my experiences not only from the work that I have done from over the past 48 years, but some of my successes and failures in the hope that I will inspire and motivate all of you to dream big. It will be shared on all my social media handles, so don't forget to follow, like, share, and subscribe to any handle of your choice. The Madiba Mall, named after Nelson Mandela. For those of you who don't know, Madiba Mall is a vision I had about 2 decades ago. So when I was building it, a lot of people were skeptical about building such a facility in Bruford Gardens. But that's what happens when you have a vision. You think ahead of the general population. So I developed this mall, which comprises of shops, restaurants, cafes, offices, and general purposes. So when I first started, it didn't do very well. People didn't buy into it, but now everything has been occupied. Hi guys, today is the 18th of July and it is Nelson Mandela Day. Do you know that if he was alive, he would have been 105 years old? Now, this is Madiba Mall. Nelson Mandela is my hero and my role model. And the reason why I have really chosen him as my hero and my role model is because of the values that he has demonstrated as a leader. In Robben Island for 27 good years, he fought for what he stood for. And when he was liberated and set free, he only served for 1 term and he left. That's a lesson for African political leaders. Now, I will tell you why I chose him. I had to name this mall after him. I'm sure none of his relatives know about this. But this is what you do when you leave a legacy. He's left a legacy, and all over the globe, there are Mandela, Madiba, you name it. So this is now Madiba Mall, and it's named after Mandela because he's my role model. I aspire to be like him. He inspired me even though I have never set eyes on him physically. And I'll just take you through all of his quotes. You will find it here in the mall. So leaders need to set good examples. They need to leave a legacy, just like Nelson Mandela. So as you enter there, what you see here, Mandela says, it always seems impossible until it's done. So we have this big poster. So any African walking in here, or any person walking into here, any young person walking into here, when you read this, it gives you courage, it gives you confidence that there's somebody who's made it, and that's what he has done. Now let me take you up the stairs. That's not the only quote we have. I'll take you upstairs also. It's everywhere. I just believe in Mandela. He is my hero. Let me take you to this first floor. I have done this because I want everybody who walks into this facility to see the quotes that he's left behind. So again here, he says, sometimes it falls upon a generation to be great. You can be that great generation. Let your greatness blossom. Again, Mandela. So these are things that if you see daily, it inspires you, it gives you courage, it gives you confidence to be like this great man. 105 years he would have been today. I wish he was still alive. Then let's go to the second floor, the last floor. And these are things that I see every day. My staff, they see it. And also visitors, they do. Visitors also see it. So please don't just read and go along, but you should read it and make sure, take one quote at least away from him. So here we go. This is the last quote I have here on the second floor, and it says, action without vision is only passing time. And then vision without action is merely daydreaming. But vision with action can change the world. Again, Nelson Mandela, thank you, and great man, we love you.
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because of Nelson Mandela. He's our idol and our hero. Yes, and my dad has always talked about him.
Why the building called Madiba? Because our MD said this guy, he's his role model, Nelson Mandela. That's why he named the building Madiba Mall.
Because it's named after one of the most respected people in Africa, from South Africa, Nelson Mandela.
It was named after Nelson Mandela, the former South African president.
Because MD believes so much and he respects Nelson Mandela and what he stands for.
They named it after Nelson Mandela.
Is the mentor for our MD,
Yeah.
Madiba because it's named after Nelson Mandela.
Okay, I believe it is named Madiba Hall because of Nelson Mandela. The CEO named it after him.
Nelson Mandela, of course, is MD's mentor.
It's named after Nelson Mandela.
Madiba.
Of course.
Why?
It's named after Nelson Mandela. Madiba.
He's the former South African president who was in jail for 23 years.
27 years.
27?
Yes.
Okay. And he came back from jail and he became the president of South Africa.
And what I liked most about Nelson Mandela was his ability to forgive and reconcile even after apartheid and move South Africa towards a new direction.
Mandela Day takes place every year on the 18th of July and is named after the activist Nelson Mandela. The aim of Mandela Day is to encourage everyone to give a little bit of time to make a positive impact on the lives of others. The day focuses on 5 main areas: education and literacy, food and nutrition, shelter, sanitation, and active citizenship. Nelson Mandela lived in South Africa in the 1950s, when there was a lot of racial discrimination and division in the country, called apartheid. Nelson Mandela believed everybody should have the same rights, and he fought very hard against discrimination, but he was imprisoned for his beliefs for 27 years. He was released from prison in 1990 and stood by his beliefs. He continued to fight for everyone's rights and went on to win the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993 and become South Africa's first black president in 1994. Nelson Mandela is a very important person in history, and Mandela Day was started by the UN in 2009 as a way to honour his legacy.